Hey guys, I'm Josh.
I'm Billy.
And I'm Ashley.
And it's week 3 on Survivor.
Yes, it is, but this is still the Gedunk, and we're going to be talking about Survivor. You always confuse people, Josh. They come in here thinking they're going to watch some Survivor now.
Well, wouldn't that be nice? Yeah. All right, so...
I don't know, man. At this point, I don't know, because you guys got me watching the show, and people are
You're
really...
loving it, aren't you?
People are irritating me on this show, man. They really do. But we'll talk about that.
All right, so it starts off... What's her name? Liana is in tears.
We're forgetting names already.
Because she's kind of torn on what happened last week.
Yeah.
Like, I came here to, play, and because I come from such a hardworking family, I want to be a great player, and it's just, completely slipped through my fingers last night.
Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, she felt like she didn't get listened to, man. No, we should have got rid of Xander. Why aren't they listening to me? This Survivor. I came here to do a good time, a good thing here, and I'm just not doing what I need to do.
And we don't get much from this team throughout the whole thing, or her. So
just really at the beginning. There.
Yeah, it's just like they threw her in there. We got to talk about other people every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, but then it cuts to all these advantages. I've never seen this many advantages, idols on the show, and it's getting a little annoying to me.
Well, these advantages were obviously they weren't hidden like the immunity idols.
This is
they
the
were
first
in
I've seen
plain
of that.
sight. Yeah, this is kind of new this season, so they're in plain sight. So it's first come first serve kind of thing. If you see it,
it's yours.
It's yours.
If you decide to take it, because it still has the beware on it, right? So
yeah.
And the first person to find one was Tiffany, and the other 2 girls were present as she found it.
Mm-hmm. She shared the knowledge with them.
Yeah.
And this one's a little different because it's not the 3-way advantage. This one it's kind of like the other previous shows where they play that little game and then they can maybe get an advantage or not.
Right, but in this one, right, in this one, they got to be sly about it. You got to sneak away in the middle of the night, right? It's
although this team, she just told 2 other girls,
There's
so the only person that doesn't know is
Xander. Right? He's the only one that doesn't know what's going on.
So she can sneak away pretty easily, I'm thinking.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think Big Brother should have put more thought into this.
Big Brother
should have?
Or Survivor.
Yeah,
Big Brother. They probably should have put some thought into it, too.
They should have chimed in.
Yeah, they should have bailed them out.
Same network, it's fine. It's fine.
Oh, man. But I tell you, and then, of course, in the beginning, one thing we haven't seen much of in this show, it's you see a lot of the losing teams, but you don't really see much of the winning team. We don't see much of the blue team, what's going on with them in the camp, right? But you saw a little bit of that in the very beginning of the episode here. They kind of show the blue team what's going on. And old Nasir is digging himself a grave, man.
Yeah.
He was
digging himself a grave.
He was high neck last week, and his stock is starting to go down again.
Dude, it's the thing I don't understand about this, and again, this is my first time watching the show, but dude, you guys are on a winning streak. You shouldn't be throwing people's names out there right now. Don't worry about that until you start freaking losing.
I don't think it's a bad strategy to talk like that, but you got to know who you're talking to. That's the issue with him.
Well, this season's probably worse than any other season I've watched as far as somebody getting information and then telling somebody else. Usually in most seasons you have a duo that have kind of paired up and keep each other's secrets, and then maybe there's a double agent here or there, but it seems like no one has specific loyalty to anybody at this point, because I find something and I tell you and you're like, hey, I'm gonna go tell everybody else.
Right, exactly.
So there seems to be no secrets.
There's a lot of stupid people on this show.
Well, I think there's definitely some
really
loyalty in this game, because when a team loses, it's not every name up for grabs. It's normally specific people. So that tells me there's definitely some teams.
Yeah. But the unfortunate thing is the teams that are together are all a bunch of dumb people who suck at freaking competition.
You're very harsh on the people.
So I am, because I at least when we watch Big Brother, people stuck together. They relied on teamwork, especially in the beginning when Big Brother's broken out into teams. This one starts out broken into teams, and the only team that actually cares about its team is the blue team. Now the green and yellow don't give a crap about teamwork. They're all like, oh, we're just going to talk our
Well, that's the thing that's irritating me, is if you're good at competitions, you stand out and people want to get rid of you.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Which kind of sucks, because that's the game kind of tries to promote otherwise, but
but that's the thing, it doesn't, because I've caught on to that too, because they understand that once our team gets dwindled down to a certain amount of people, they're going to split us up on other teams anyway.
You have team competitions that should be promoting that, but people are gaming the game.
Right, exactly. And at this point, Survivor should have mixed that up. They should have been like, oh, guess what? We're not going to freaking do that anymore.
Well, I hope that they don't abolish the teams, because then maybe people would think about that in the future.
Right, because that just makes...
But so far, every season, they always do that. So,
they switch up
these
the
guys
teams a
clearly
lot
know it, because they've
sometimes.
talked about it several times.
Right,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
So,
I don't like that at all, man, because now they know they can get rid of their strong players, and they can be weak and lose every challenge, but still end up okay because they're going to end up on a freaking other team anyway. And it's like, come on, man. I don't like that at all.
So Nasir tells Sydney, like, we need to get rid of Danny. And this is the second time he's kind of throwing him out there, which, again, I don't think is a bad strategy to talk about getting rid of, like, some of those guys, but you got to know who you're talking to. And she immediately goes and tells them, which she did last time.
Oh, yeah, she mentions Deshaun, too. So.
And she shares it with him, of course.
Yeah.
And then, of course, then it cuts to him saying, hey, my English isn't so great, so maybe if I'm saying stuff wrong, y'all help me out here. And he's trying to almost like he's trying to cover his tracks.
Maybe you misunderstood.
Right. It's like, what?
Yeah.
So if his team loses, he could be in jeopardy.
That dude's probably gone if his team loses at this point. Yeah, they're going to get rid of him quick now.
So and the other person to find advantage is Brad. He's trying to make a fire, and it's right there by his feet. And the cameraman's kind of like zooming in and on. I wonder if anyone like noticed anything like that with the cameraman. Like, why are they focused on a particular item?
They probably don't pay too much attention to the cameraman.
Right.
I don't know, but I do wonder that.
Yeah,
like they're sneaking off in the middle of the night too. Well, guess what? The cameraman's falling around. So what if they're making noise or something like that?
Yeah,
how does this all work?
And I thought that's true. Like, if they got to sneak off a camp to go get on this boat, and it's like, and they're like creeping away, and then the cameraman like coughs or something, and it's like,
And are the cameramen constantly filming then at night sleeping, or do they just suddenly go, we know something's going on, so let's go, and they're like, why are the cameramen here?
Yeah,
something's getting ready to go down. I have no idea, but I'm kind of like interested in that aspect. But
yeah, that's a good.
They never mentioned too much about that. So Brad finds that idol. He also finds a 3-way idol. So this man has two potential idols in his pocket.
And he tells people.
He does.
Who does he tell?
He tells Shan.
And Jeannie.
Yeah, Shan and Jeannie.
Well, Jeannie was there when he found
it, Because him and Jeannie are like super tight, right? He's like, look, Jeannie's my ride or die on this team here. We're super tight. I'm going to tell her. And he did. And Jeannie's like, and Jeannie feels the same way. He just showed her talking by herself. Yeah. So, like, she's cool with Brad. Brad's cool with hers. They're good teamwork.
You found both?
Number 2.
And then, then of course they got to tell Shan about it.
He tells Shan, and Shan's like, "Wow, this is a big deal. He must have a lot of trust in me," which I thought was cool. I'm like, maybe Brad's being smart here. It's working because his vote could be limited now because he picked up that 3-way potential idol.
Right.
So that takes away a vote from him. So now he needs strong partners to help him get through
unless
things.
the other team finds it. He read the clues, so he knows Xander has one. So it's just a matter of getting to that immunity challenge and finding out if the other phrase gets spoken as well, which I did find funny because we were questioning it at first. Xander said the phrase the first time, and when he was reading the instructions on the idol,
that's when he caught it.
It said, well, he caught it, but then it said they all 3 have to be spoken at the same immunity challenge, and I'm like, so somehow Xander has to say that phrase again? That's going to be awkward.
Oh, yeah.
So
well, and Sydney is the third person to find this potential advantage. So it's Sydney, Brad, and Tiffany that go away in the seclusion, and it's just like last time where they have a choice to like kind of what they get a tarp. If all 3 of them choose tarp, they get a tarp.
Yep.
Or if one other person chooses to steal it, then they get to steal a vote from somebody.
Yep.
And the other 2 don't get the tarp.
Yeah. Or if one person chooses tarp and 2 people choose steal a vote, those 2 people get steal a vote, and then one.
So
person
the only way
tarp.
someone gets the tarp is all 3 of them choose it.
Exactly.
And they're having discussions, and Tiffany's being very shady to Sydney.
Yeah.
And they're like, "You're on Survivor. You got to play the game, you know."
Well, then because Lindsay Sydney. Is like
Lindsay Sydney.
Sydney says flat out, "Well, hey guys, should we just be conservative here and just each of us get a tarp for our team?"
Right.
Because she's like, "I'll choose tarp," and then immediately Tiffany jumps on her. "Okay, good, you choose tarp. We're gonna choose still a vote, and you're gonna be left high and dry, right?" So it's like
it's either if I'm there, I'm like either we all 3 choose that or no one.
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you what I'm choosing.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you do tarp, then we get to steal a vote.
And if they all choose steal, then they lose their vote. So they don't want to risk that either.
Yeah.
Yeah, and quite honestly, man, at that point, Sydney's on the blue team, right? So it's like you're on the blue team, you're kicking butt. So just to be spiteful because they pulled that crap on you, especially Tiffany, I'd have been like, I'd have chosen to steal a vote too. Because if I lose my vote at this point, my team's on a good winning streak right here. We got a strong, solid team. So if I lose my vote this week, not going to matter because I don't think we're going to be on the chopping block anyway.
Is it just this week that's
it's just the week. Yeah, you lose your vote before that week. That's it. So if I was Sydney, I would have just freaking did it just to screw both the other the other two teams at that point because they were trying to they just basically told her, oh sure, fine, you go over the tarp and we'll get the still votes.
But here's the deal: you jump to the actual where they reveal what everybody chose, and Tiffany chose tarp.
Yeah, and if she's going to choose that, then she should have been more straightforward when she was talking to them.
She screwed Sydney over on that one.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
and that was. That was unfortunate because she seems to think she has built trust in Sydney. Mm-hmm. And I'm like,
Sydney's like, no, this chick's shady, man. Like, I don't want to do this chick.
I just don't understand her game plan, but I haven't really understood her game plan this whole season.
Yeah, exactly.
So far,
I don't know why. Well, we all know Billy doesn't like her.
I cannot stand that woman. The quicker Tiffany's gone, the better off I'll like this show.
So then they come back, and then they open a box, and they get to find out if they got their tarp or their vote or what. And
they didn't get their tarp because Brad chose to steal
Brad
the
is
vote.
the only one.
So he got to steal the vote.
He kind of made it seem he wasn't too talkative on
but
the
he
show
did
they
say,
showed.
But
he basically said, "I'm going to
vote.
steal the vote."
Right.
So like it was kind of like we were left unknown on what the two girls were going to do, but definitely he was stealing the vote.
Right.
And he got the vote.
Yeah, he's the only one that got something from that event.
Mm-hmm. So now he's got the idol, and now he's also got to steal a vote.
Yeah,
but
so
but
he's
got a deactivated
right
idol and no vote, so he can't use either one of those advantages.
But the funny thing is, and I wonder if they've ever mentioned this too, because I was thinking about that.
You were thinking
that idol says you lose your vote until all three people activate the idol. You lose your vote until all three people activate the idol. If me and you are on a team, Josh, and I steal your vote, that's not my vote. That's your vote. So it's like, could they use a still a vote because I'm not using my vote?
I thought those
I'm using Josh's vote.
Canceled each other out, but
it's like I'm not using my vote.
They're
at that
not very clear about any of this.
Yeah, well, I'm sure the players are given more instruction with it.
Because what else is an issue is if someone gets voted off the island that has that three-way idol, what happens then?
To
it's just
the
a
other
worthless
two?
thing?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And then you still can't vote? Like, do you get your vote back at that point? Like, what's the deal?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
They need
tricky.
to clarify that.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, they didn't do that. But like I said, I was really thinking about that, is that if you, because it flat out, that paper says you lose your vote, and it said your, until the idols are activated. Well, if I'm stealing your vote, that's not my vote. I'm stealing yours, and I'm going to use your vote. So... And I'm like, did Brad not think about that when he's reading this paper, or did they already clarify to him that, like, no matter what, you can't vote?
They probably clarified or something.
That's what I'm saying.
When he went
they probably have more clarification than we do.
Yeah.
They have the next comp. Brad does his little saying about the broccoli.
He grows little bunches on small trees, so I feel like a little broccoli tree, I guess.
Which was an awkward way to say
it
things.
was, but it was good enough for
It seemed
Xander.
like he was having a hard time recalling exactly what was on there. Is what it seemed like to me.
So that's what really made it awkward, because he's like leading into talking about broccoli somehow, and then broccoli stem cuts something like
little trees, broccoli little trees.
But it did the trick, and then Jeff asked Xander, "What do you think of what Brad kind of just said?" And then he rolls off his little
it's kind
butterfly
of like
thing.
last time when I said, the butterfly thing.
So they kind of like, okay, even though half the people on this show at this point know like what's going on here, but
because they all tell everybody everything.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But not the third team. The third team doesn't know anything because they still haven't found the idol.
Right, and of course this is right before the event, right? So they're all standing there right before they're about to do the what is it called? What's the name of the event?
Immunity challenge.
Immunity challenge. Yeah, thanks.
So they start having the comp, and then Brad and...
Well, hold on. There's also a prize that comes with this. There's the first and second immunity, so only the loser actually goes to tribal council. Mm-hmm. But then they also get fruit.
Yeah, so the winning team gets a giant bowl of fruit.
And then the second place team gets a smaller bowl of fruit. So
they're having this competition, and Brad and Xander are kind of like just hanging out. He's like, hey, I really like what you said about the broccoli.
Well,
they're the last ones on the platform.
They're the last two on the platform. Yeah, exactly.
He's like what you said about that broccoli
statement. Pretty awesome there.
I like what you said about broccoli.
Horrible the way I said it. I'm with you.
But Billy, explain this comp to us. What do they got to do here?
All right, so they got to make it across this little, kind of like the other one, right?
It's
They got to make it across
similar.
the water obstacle course, and then they got to jump in for the next person to start. And then, of course, who screws it all up again? Tiffany. Like, Tiffany's horrible. Like, she's horrible at this event.
She didn't screw it up.
Yeah, she didn't screw it up.
I was waiting for her to fall, and she didn't
she
fall.
almost fell several times.
But she
and
didn't fall.
But it took her forever to get across that road bridge.
Obviously the slowest of everybody.
By far the slowest. It took her forever to get across that road bridge. And it's like, when is this yellow team going to be like, you know what, man, we got to get rid of this girl. Like, she just, she's
Jeff
selfish.
said this would be like one of the most dangerous seasons, but so far
no
it's
danger.
been
right.
pretty typical.
Now, if they allowed like some sharks to come in the core,
maybe there are sharks. What do you know?
No, they have other competitions where they are wrestling and people are kind of getting hurt. They're not really doing
people
that.
dislocating shoulders
Yeah,
and then just popping them right back in.
Where's the danger here, Jeff?
Yeah, there's been no danger in this show.
No, you just ain't giving them rights.
Maybe
That
it's
seems to be the
coming.
only thing different.
Right.
Maybe it's coming.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I hope so.
Yeah, no kidding,
It's
man.
like this is Survivor.
And somebody better break an arm or something.
So yellow is last to get to the last event on this where they were throwing beanbags on platforms.
Well, they had to dig the bag of beanbags up.
Out first.
Yeah, and then...
But Xander is killing it, and he's
Xander's
catching
got the
them up
whole big
quickly.
bag of beanbags carrying over, and they're all just like, yeah, meet us over here, you carry that.
JD claims to be like an NBA star practically, and he's trying to do layups on this thing, which look very awkward.
Oh, dude, he's missing every single... That dude can't even land a single bag, man.
He is jumping from the platform, doing an underhand layup, and you're kind of like...
his team's like, what are you doing, dude? They're like, just stop.
Yeah,
and
Shan
just try to get in
says,
the bag.
no NBA.
Yeah, it's like, this is not the NBA.
So that was odd, and that cost them a lot.
Oh, yeah, and then guess who come up and almost saved the day for them? Brad comes up, he starts landing shots, and people are like, all right, yeah, Brad, all right. And then unfortunately, just a little too late, and it sucked. It sucked for Brad.
So who won?
Blue team, again, of course. And then, but this time, the yellow team got away by the skin of their chins there, but barely beat the green team out, right? Because Brad had 4. He was about to land his other one, but then the yellow team landed their 5th one before he did.
So Xander saves the day.
Xander saves the day.
Yeah, that's good this week because he's not up for immunity, but bad next time they
But
are.
you gotta get rid of people like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's like, ugh.
So now the green team's got to get rid of somebody. But then the funny thing is, as they're all walking back to camp, what happens to old JD?
Well, he's not walking back to camp. I think he went to go take a bathroom break.
Right, yeah, went to take a bathroom. He's coming back to camp after the bathroom break. And he's got his shirt off.
And good job on the cameramen and stuff. Like JD says, I'm going to the bathroom. They show a bird take a crap. I'm like, thanks. But anyways, he's coming back from the latrine, and I think he has his shirt up or off or what. Yeah, and his pants are kind of hanging low. And then Shan's like, what do you got there?
Yeah, she sees paper.
Yeah. He had his extra vote just hanging out, hanging out of his shorts there.
And he's like, oh, I guess.
He's like, busted.
So he shows it to her, and then he's like, well, I hope that this, me revealing and honestly about this, whatever. And she's like, you didn't reveal it to me.
I got you. I got you red-handed, man.
There's no trust here because, in fact, I don't trust you at all anymore.
Yeah, and this team is only talking about Brad and JD going home.
Yeah, those are the only two options.
Ricard seems completely safe.
Yeah, Ricard is with the girls, man. He's one of the girls. So
and Shan is kind of in, but she's on everyone's good graces. So good for her. She's probably playing the strongest game somehow on that team.
So the conversation between JD and Shan, I love the way this went.
I might even just hand it to you.
Would you be willing to hand it to me for safety to hold?
Like, yeah.
I really think moving forward, I'll talk about it, but I think she may have played it a little bit wrong at first, or at the end. But she convinced. He's like, "What can I do to earn your trust?"
Right.
He's like, "What if I give you?"
Hang on to this for me.
I'll let you hold on to it. And she's like, she's like, yeah, that's a start.
Right.
She's like, I'll give this back when you're not grounded.
Right, exactly.
But
now, what does that even mean? Can she use it because she has
that's
the
where
paper,
I'm thinking.
or what?
Here's what I'm thinking. I'm like, you have it now.
Right, yours.
So I say get rid of JD.
Exactly.
He gave you that extra vote.
Yeah, you just get rid of that dude now and be done.
And I don't know why
that would be kind of cold. But
and I don't know why he needed to do that or why he thought that was a good idea because it is the extra vote. He could have actually used that to save himself too.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, he was taking a big risk. I don't know if that's
enough to convince them because he probably feels like it's either me or Brad. So I got to do something bold here.
Right,
and maybe he counted the votes. If they really want me gone, I would not have it. So maybe it doesn't show any of this, of course, but maybe they played this out. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think she could have played that. She needed to play that a little longer.
Well, but the thing is, they ended up sharing it with the whole team, right? So the whole team found out about it, and then they get to, they finally do their little march up to the, elimination place.
Well, and I don't even know if Brad suspects anything at this point.
No,
Like
he does.
if he's a target or not.
I think
he's feeling pretty comfortable.
Yeah, I think he knows he's a target, but I think he's pretty sure JD's going to be one.
Right.
Yeah,
I think he feels strong with Jeannie and Shan at this point.
Right.
So he's probably like, I'm probably good.
Yeah, exactly. But little does he know, Shan's little backsliding with Ricard, right? So
Yeah, he must not know how close those two are.
Oh, he has no clue, man.
But they have tribal council, and then Ricard says something about like things have happened where you got to trust people, and then Jeannie immediately like speaks up, which like I don't even think he's talking about you, but okay.
Yeah.
Right.
But she spelled my name right when she wrote it down. Brad.
Right, because Ricard's like hell bent thinking that Jeannie's the one that wrote his name on the piece of paper at the last tribal council.
And that was funny. He's like, you spelled my name right there.
Right.
Yeah.
And she's like,
So then, like, Jeff's asking his questions, trying to get a feel for where everybody stands and everything. And
he just calls out JD.
He calls out JD. He's like, so, you've lost a little trust there. He's like, yeah, it's like, and he gives this crystal analogy. He's like, when you break a crystal, it's kind of hard to put it back together. And then Shan jumps in. She's like, yeah, I mean, it's pretty, but you can't really put it back together. Like it's
no, JD with his
broken
analogies.
crystal.
He throws out the crystal analogy, throws out the mosquito analogy.
Yeah, the mosquito bite, he's like, you scratch it, but then it's going to be short-term relief. It's only going to hurt you later.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not feeling really good with Shan's reaction to that. Like,
right.
So he's kind of...
Right. So, Jeff's like, all right, well, we all know how we all feel here. Let's go to the vote, and this vote pissed me off, man. It really did. Like, I was very frustrated and irritated with this vote because at this point, he's lost all trust with that whole team.
Yeah.
Not only that, he handed Shan his vote, so she's got a freaking free vote in her pocket,
Yeah, I know.
And then she freaking backdoors Brad, and it's like, are you kidding?
Fourth person voted out. Brad. That's 3. That's enough. Need to bring me a torch.
And Brad has like potentially 2 idols,
and he could help her
that
with.
Clearly,
as far as
she
he knows,
was thinking, with the fact that he told her this,
yeah.
he pulled her aside to tell her this. There's trust there. So, like, why do you
her
not?
game would have been way better off keeping Brad. It's just ridiculous.
And then she would have had JD's extra
vote. And JD
so.
screwed up on the competition.
Exactly. So her and Brad would have been like a freaking super team together, man. If she'd have stuck with Brad, she'd have had JD's extra vote. Brad had the 2 things, man. Her and Brad together would have been dominant on that team, and she just blew it.
So why do you think she did it?
Because she's an idiot. Like there's so many.
I'm an idiot, so I just choose this one.
Yeah, there are just too many stupid people on this show, man. I'm like, are you not thinking straight? Like they let other people manipulate them too much. She
you
lets
think that's what happened?
She let Ricard have too much power. Oh yeah. She lets Ricard manipulate her, and it's just like, dude, just like freaking everybody else letting Tiffany manipulate them. I'm
they are
JD are
tired
close.
and hungry, so it's hard to think.
They're both minorities. Is that what's bonding them together? Is it Ricard? What is it?
Yeah. I think she's just stupid. She's just stupid. Just like I think everybody on the yellow team's stupid. It's like
maybe that tricked JD by giving her that.
The only reason why I think she would go with JD over Brad is she knows that Brad and Jeannie are close. So yes, she has trust with Brad, but she's not that close with Jeannie.
That's good.
Yeah, she is that close with Jeannie because she's part of that team. Like,
but
and Brad,
she knows of the 3, she's the third wheel of that 3.
Yes, but at the same time, because Brad and Jeannie have such a close relationship, and Brad is kind of the dominant one with the most the awards, like, and then you're bringing her in with another award. At the end of the day, really, it's those 2 that are going to be the strongest 2 out of that group now, because she's going to have an extra vote anyway, so she can outvote Jeannie with that extra vote anyway.
Did anyone else know that he gave that to her?
No. I don't think so.
Yeah, so that could have been something she kept to herself.
Yeah, because she never mentioned.
Because she could get rid of him, and then he's
never,
gone.
And that never came up.
No one's keeping idols a secret. I mean, JD tried to keep his a secret, but he screwed it. I don't know why he's carrying that around constantly on him too. Right. Most people hide it, but.
Yeah, so I mean, at this point, man, I am all 100% blue team. Like yellow and green team can just die fall off the game for all I care. Because they're both horrible, man. They make stupid decisions. And again, it's because of the way the game's set up. And they know, hey, if we get broken up, we're going to end up on another team anyway. So whatever. And I think that's a huge flaw. Just from watching this series, this season, I think that's a huge flaw. Like they all know, what, we can just be crappy as a team. And who cares? We don't have to have teamwork.
Well, that's the rescue run by voting strong people off, though.
What is the saying? Outwit, outlast, outplay? Outplay, outlast.
Sure.
Yeah. That's
sure. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if blue team lost, they would be going through these same struggles. I mean, Nasir would probably be gone already.
They
And
probably
then
would
they might be targeting the two strong guys at this point. We
I
don't
would
know.
like
to
But
see-
winning, you don't see any of that.
I would like to see a split, a divide of the teams and a change up of the teams before blue team loses. I'd like to see the blue team, every player on the blue team survive to the next
I think we're going to see
split.
that, honestly. I mean, the way
Yeah,
things are going
and
now,
if
I
you
think
see the
it's gonna
next
happen.
split,
Because
then it would be interesting to see who chooses
I mean, what
who.
blue team? Did they
Well-
sit out two people this go?
Yeah. Well, and the reason I'm saying I think we're going to see that because blue team is the only team that is actually completely working as a team. The other two teams are completely divided. They're not working as a team. We got no teamwork. So the blue team is. I don't see them losing at all until the split happens.
Well, they got some strong people on their team. That's what happens when you keep them around. You win competitions.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, man. I'm not a fan right now, man. I'm just because, and it's because those other two teams are just ruining it for me, dude. I'm like, yeah, like I expected to watch this show, expecting like some teams to really be going at it against each other and to have a good teamwork going, and it just doesn't exist except with one team. And I'm like, well, it's kind of stupid, And I think it's kind of Survivor's fault for that because these people know, hey, we don't gotta have teamwork. I can just piss on my teammates and whatever.
Eventually,
because,
it's going to come down to them playing as individuals too, and maybe it'll change for you at that point. But I will say,
Let's hope.
they still go after the strong people in that comp.
Yeah.
Because they win competitions.
Once
Like, gotta get rid of
once
them.
you're playing as an individual, sure, that makes sense. You want to have strong people.
The only good thing about Survivor compared to Big Brother in that case is you can't get backdoored where you don't play a competition at all.
Right.
Right.
And if you win last week, you can win again.
Right. Yeah.
So,
No, that is cool.
Granted, that person doesn't dictate who leaves, like in Big Brother, but
you're immune and you're not getting kicked
right.
off.
Right.
Exactly. So, I mean, I do like that aspect.
But
like
if you
I said,
win
right
like
now,
4 times in a row and you lose, they're like, let's take our
that dude
chance.
out of here. Yep.
Better have an idol in your back pocket.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, it's interesting. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, man. Blue team, baby. Blue team.
Episode 3. They've been, I think, on the island for 7 days now or something like that.
I don't know. I was invested in Brad after.
I'm
after
sad to see
the
Brad go
beginning
because
of
I
this
really liked the way he
episode, so I was
played.
really
Yeah, I
sad
was
to
very
see
sad.
Brad
And he
go.
brought enthusiasm.
I'm loving all the twists and all the turns and all the danger. High risk. I just love high risk.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
might be.
he's
I
a
might be
good player, man.
team Xander again. I don't know.
Well, Xander, as soon as yellow team loses their comp, Xander's gone. That poor guy's done. I mean, there's no.
Yeah, probably. It's looking that way.
Oh, yeah. So
Yeah,
you might as well jump off that way because he's gonna be gone soon.
I like Xander too. We haven't
So
seen
do I.
much from Blue Team.
Why
I don't know
has
who to
Blue
root for.
Team
Yeah.
not found the idol? And now here's the next question: is Xander's idol useless now that Brad's gone?
Yeah, we'll find that out soon enough.
Yeah, and if it is useless, then Survivor, you didn't think this through? I mean, that's a lot that needs to happen to get this thing going.
It can't be useless.
No, something's gonna happen.
I don't like these new idols. I don't really like this new 3 people go to a place and choose a thing.
maybe-
Oh, it takes me a while. Like we
I don't
pause
really
it and
like it.
rewind it a
Maybe-
little bit
maybe
because I
what-
was like, "What? Okay, if this happens, then this happens, and it's like the positive, negative. They
Right.
cancel
Just
each other
find the
out."
idol
And I'm
gives you
like,
immunity.
Well, maybe what it'll be is that team just loses out on that now, and then the two teams are left that they're able to say it beforehand, and they're still in on it. But if that yellow, since they lost their person with the idol, then they're just out of it now. You know what I mean?
Because this show's missing that person potentially getting voted off, and then the idol. You're like, do I use this? I don't really want to use it unless I have to. It's
Right.
kind of missing
Right.
that
'Cause
element.
some people have been voted off with the idol in
With
their
the idol,
pocket.
yeah.
Well, and if they do just say, okay, well, that team loses out on the idol and they don't have it because their person was gone, and blue team finds it this week, and then Xander has to say the saying again about
Right.
the butterfly.
We're like, what is with you and the butterflies?
I love butterflies. I predict this guy getting a butterfly tattoo at some point.
All right,
All
everybody, that's week 3 of Survivor. Xander, you heard it here, man. You got to get a butterfly tattoo now.
Yeah.
But hey, we will see you guys next week at our next discussion. And if you like our channel, hit like and subscribe. We hope you do. And please tell us what you thought. I know at this point everybody agrees with me that yellow team and green team suck and they're just a bunch of idiots.
You did get a guy that was okay with Tiffany, though.
Yeah. Yeah, that guy was okay with Tiffany. Whoever you are, man, I don't know what you're talking about because Tiffany's not very cool at this point. She's really just screwing stuff up and she's very selfish for human being. But that's enough on Tiffany.
Jeez.
But
He
hey,
is very judgmental.
we will check you guys later.
See you guys.
Bye. Yeah, I get really mad. Really mad.
Really
mad.
That's what happens when you try and elbow the table, Billy. I mean,
Dominoes. Everybody likes Domino's.
Nobody knows.
Like Domino's.
Like Domino's. Yeah.
Pizza. The Noid.
The what?
Forget that
The
Noid.
The Domino's Noid. The woman's what? You remember the Domino's Noid?
I don't remember a Noid. I don't want to say Noid.
What? Is that
I'm
a goofy
annoyed.
little floppy-eared cartoon guy the Domino's had? The Noid?
Yeah, Billy's got no notes.
He never has notes.
Right there.
He never has notes. We got lights on, cameras.
Action.
Something doesn't feel right.
Is everything recording?
Something doesn't feel right.
No, we're good, man. All the lights are on, cameras are on. Actually, you got her face paint on. We're good.
Seriously? No.
You got their names this time?
Their names?
There's. Yeah, we got them there.
There's a word.
There. It's there,
is a word.
not there.
There is a southern word.
Look over there.
It's in the Southern Dictionary. I've seen it.
I can say third.
You can.
You can say there.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. No, that was crisp.
Was it crisp? Yeah.
It was...
A reverb would have been boing.
Yeah, I kind of hear it like boing. I don't know.
Boing,
Maybe a little
boing.
bit.
Maybe because the ceiling, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey guys, it's week 3 on Survivor.
It is.
Hey guys, I'm Josh. Amateurs, man.
All right, here we go.
You're a pro.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just said I did 2 intros for you, and you guys just stare at the camera.
Hold on, my nose itches.
Hey guys, I'm Josh.
I was not ready.
You're never ready.
I said hold on.
You're never ready.